And we are live. You already know who it is. My name is Mike Kyle, aka the Fantasy Vulture. I have over a decade worth of fantasy football experience and have continuously competed for fantasy championships over the course of the past 8 seasons. Let's make it 9 in 2021. But enough of me. I'm here for you. On today's episode of the FV Show, we're going to continue our rookie profile reactions, breaking down some of the more higher end rookies coming into the NFL through the 2021 NFL Draft and breaking them down through the lens of fantasy football. Today we're going to be looking at Ja'marr Chase, wide receiver out of LSU, potentially the first wide receiver off of the board this season. So if you're excited for this reaction, be sure to hit that like button down below. Smash that subscribe button too so you never miss a video from me. Follow me on all social media platforms at FFVulture and check out the website ffvulture.com for some premium fantasy football packages over there. A lot of fun stuff happening over here for year 2. But enough of the bullshit. Let's dive right in. I didn't know how much energy I would have going into today. Feeling a little bit sick. Feel like I got strep coming on or something, but we're gonna ball the fuck out right now, so let's just dive right in, right? Ladies and gentlemen, Ja'marr Chase. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Can I pull this up? There we go. Alright, so we're gonna use JustBombProductions for this, and let's slide in just a bit more here. And again, I usually pull my highlights from about 3 different sources or so. Is my video all messed up? It definitely is. No, we're okay. We're good here. So I'm really interested, actually, before we even start, and we're going to back this up just a bit too. Before we even start, a thing that's really important to note for Chase is that he sat out all of last year. Obviously, the college football season and just sports in general were really fucked up due to COVID, and they offered every single player an opt-out clause, and he's one of the players that did. He didn't want to either risk, the season, his potential of him getting hurt, catching COVID, or whatever else the case may be. So these highlights are actually from 2019, as he was part of that championship LSU squad with Joe Burrow and the gang, and that team, we all know how prolific that offense was. Now, let's get into Ja'marr Chase. So he starts off here at the bottom of the screen. Alright. Now here we go. There we go, little stutter step back to the ball action, and then just burns the defender. Alright. Nice contested catch grab there. I mean, that was just a fly route. That was just go. Like, that was just go and I'll find you. Nice move back to the ball. And again, one of the things that I really look at when I'm watching these highlight tapes is how much do you pop off the screen? Like, are you the best player on your highlight tape like this? Here, perfect example. Like, that's fucking filthy. Let's rewind that. I want to go back. Watch. So this is just a simple slant, and they're at the 51. Boom, catches it at the 50, or I'm not the 45 or right around that area, and he's just gone, What else do we have? Bomb. It's wild. What a throw by Burrow there too, though. Woo! Sheesh! And he's gone again. Oh, does he rip this? Does he finish? Oh my god, he does. Yeah, that's really good field vision there. I want to go back to that. Because this is just another one where just breaks a tackle immediately. And then is just off. Really nice cut to the outside here. And then boom. Finds his way into the end zone. Love that. LSU averaging 17 yards per play. Add to that. Woo! Really good adjustment there. It goes for 25. Actually, if you notice that, so obviously this is like really nitpicky, just like next level stuff. But if you watch in this replay, watch his foot. That second foot is like right there on the white line. So in college that's a touchdown, but in the NFL it's not. And then just woo! God damn, that separation's wild. and he just goes. Like, this dude's just a fucking athlete. Back shoulder, beautiful ball, and just an easy catch. Easy catch, quote unquote, right? And again, just because the athlete that he is, just blows by the Florida DB. Oh, that was actually a really nice stutter step that he had there. Yeah, that was a really quick stutter that you didn't even notice the first time. Let's replay this just a bit. Can we go back? There we go. Yeah, he starts off on the inside there and then cuts out. Jesus Christ. Yeah. That's elite. Oh, that stutter step is so cold. I really like that set. They actually had Clyde on the outside there. Over the middle, breaks one tackle, and just speed. God damn. So the thing that's actually really interesting here with with Ja'marr Chase in particular is I'm on the record of saying that Justin Jefferson was the lifeblood of this offense, and he's the thing that made this offense move, which I'm still probably going to stick by. But you just look at the ball hawk that Ja'marr Chase is. Like, this dude's just a fucking magnet. And let's go back to that, too. I want to go back to that play. Like, there's just contact all up and down. Like, for those 8 yards there, watch all the contact. I mean, he is draped all over them. Is that A.J. Terrell? No, it's not. It is. Oh, that's an awesome grab. Oh, I love those kinds of plays. Play action, quick slant. That is probably my favorite kind of football play. You just want to grab there. Burrow scoots out, and how do you leave Ja'marr Chase that open? Oh. There's another just slant. Play action slant over the middle. Bam. Easy. I'll take that for 6. All right. So, as always, let's dive back into the numbers now. All right. So, we got Ja'marr Chase. And again, the way that these videos usually work is we're going to just focus on the highlights at first. I'll probably end up... Actually, let's do that right now. So, I'll jump back to myself here. Here's what I saw from that tape is you just got the epitome of an athlete, right? Of just an athletic wide receiver, great hands, has the ability to make adjustments on the ball when it's in the air and it's coming his way. Also, is a guy who's able to just break tackles and work through contact. I think that was the thing that I was most impressed with just through those 5 minutes was his ability to play through contact. You saw a few times there where he was either just getting draped all over and made a nice catch. His separation as well, that was something that really stuck out, is just, again, how open he was at some of those, like that last play that we just saw. And then his ability to extend plays too, right? Because from my perception of Ja'marr Chase coming in is this was a guy that is just a big-bodied wide receiver, going to be able to make plays, get in the end zone quite a bit. But you definitely saw some plays in that mix to where, he's catching these slant routes and he's extending the play, either taking it all the way to the house, or he's just going to shed a tackle or two and just really extend the play that way. May not get in the end zone, but definitely picks up the first down and chunk yardage after that. I really liked what I saw there from Chase's highlights and just the different ways that he's able to make big plays. So that's definitely the thing that really did stick out to me. And again, just the athlete that he is, right? If you guys remember last year, we had the two between Jerry Jeudy and we had CeeDee Lamb. Like, these were the two top-tier wide receivers. in last year's draft, and they had very contrasting styles, right? Jerry Jeudy was the more technician, more defined route runner, and CeeDee Lamb was the athlete. And from what I saw there, that's more so the Ja'marr Chase mold. You're just getting an athlete of a wide receiver who's going to be able to make incredible plays when the ball is thrown in his direction. Now let's jump over to the stats here, and again, we just use Player Profiler for these, and then we'll jump over to Sports Reference for some more in-depth breakdowns. But big thing here, I literally recorded the Najee Harris and Kyle Pitts videos 2 days ago, and Player Profile didn't have any of like their metrics, like their 40 times speed score, burst score, and that entire right side of the screen. That wasn't available. So sometime over the past 48 hours, they updated all of them. So that's super dope. So we can actually kind of use some metrics here when analyzing some players. So let's dive right in. Ja'marr Chase is listed at 6 foot, 200 pounds, so pretty good size for a wide receiver. I don't give a shit about hand size for a wide receiver, to be honest. He's 21, which again, just wow. LSU ran a 4.39 40, so again, just athlete, right? Burst score and speed score don't really care about these things. I really just look at the I really just look at the 40 times when it comes to these. But then we just go down to the college stats here, and again, really just 2 years at LSU. What was his junior year, he did sit out. So we're just gonna look at the 2019, and obviously we're gonna use that year because it's vastly superior than 2018. But the thing that we also have to consider is how crazy prolific that LSU offense was this season, or that year, excuse me. So 14 games played, 111 targets, 84 receptions. He had 1,700 yards, a damn near 20% target share, and a 75% catch rate. And he also had 20 touchdowns. This dude was an absolute machine. There's no two ways around it. And in fact, one of the things that I want to do right now, do they have Justin Jefferson in here? Can I go to Justin Jefferson's college stats? Because I would love to see this if I could. I can. Oh, baby. Right, so just for reference, Justin Jefferson had more targets, more receptions, less yardage, and 2 less touchdowns, had a larger target share as well, and a higher catch rate. So, my analysis was correct when I said that Justin Jefferson was, well, like that's the thing, like was he? It's very interesting now. Like what wide receiver was better? I guess you would have to say that Chase was better, but Jefferson had more work. So Chase had more production on less work, but Jefferson had had more work. That's wild. So that really just comes down to kind of how you slice it as to who was the true number one on that team, or was it just an instance of 1A, 1B? Anyways, we're over here with Ja'marr Chase and his and on his sports reference page. Just things I want to go over here real quick is receiving yards. Like we're just gonna go down to appearances on leaderboards, awards, and honors. The receiving yards, that's obviously the big thing here. He had 1,700 receiving yards, which was first in the country and naturally first in the SEC that year. Led the SEC in touchdowns as well in 2019. Yards from scrimmage, he was third in the SEC with that number. I mean, just my God. What receiving yards per reception? He had 20 yards catch, fucking wild. Which was first in the SEC. Receiving touchdowns, led the NCAA and the whole country. Just my God. Like, this dude was just a fucking stud. But, as always, I want to go down to the game logs. Because numbers like this, end-of-the-year numbers, are just compilations of everything. And I want to see what you did on a game-by-game basis. So, going back to his game log now, and, like, this is where I expect things to get absolutely, like, nutty because of what his total numbers were. So I'm not going to go through every single game, but just you can see here some of the numbers that stick out. Like 8 receptions for 147, 10 receptions for 229, and 4 touchdowns versus Vanderbilt. 7 for 127 and 2. You're looking at 8-6, 8-6, 8-6, 7, and every single one of these games is over 120 receiving yards. Has another 227 game there and 3 touchdowns. Just my goodness. The thing that I'm noticing here is just the consistency in which he was able to get into the end zone. If you remember, the first player that we did was Najee Harris, and that was one of the things that kind of just kept coming up is, okay, he had 30 total touchdowns, and if you looked at his receiving touchdowns specifically, he had 3 of his 4 come in one game. But like this is like why we break it down that way, because we're getting the full picture here. And he had one game where he won, he had 3 games, 3 out of 14, where he didn't get in the end zone. And even in those games, 2 receptions for 61 yards. So that would be 6 fantasy points, depending on the format you play. That'd be 7, so that's a bust game. You look at 8 for 147, like you're fine with that for fantasy. And then we go down to 8 for 123 and no touchdowns. And again, that's another great game that you're gonna have for fantasy football purposes. So in terms of like this, like Ja'marr Chase is one of the most consistent wide receivers that you'll probably see. Looking at this, the ability for him to boom in any game is through the fucking roof, and his floor is so high as well. And I think that's going to be one of the things that's really intriguing for Chase, depending on where he lands in the NFL draft, is what team is he going to go to? Is he just going to be able to step in and be one of these guys that just gets all the work? Like if he goes to the Lions, for instance, at number 7 overall, he's talented enough where he's better than Tyrell Williams. He's better than Brashad Perriman. He's better than Quintez Cephas off the bat. So are we going to get Jared Goff to Ja'Marr Chase over and over and over again? That's really interesting to me. Where else could he go to? I've been seeing some rumblings. Sorry, I'm just flipping tabs now. I've seen some rumblings. Maybe Cincinnati takes another wide receiver. I don't know how much I love that for the Bengals' purposes, and especially for T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, who are 2 great young wide receivers for them. But that's an option that I've seen kind of floating around. Obviously, we've had all the trades going on with the Dolphins and the Eagles, and that really does suck for Philadelphia because I would love to see him in that scenario across from Jalen Reagor with Jalen Hurts at the helm there. Do the Dolphins try and take do the Dolphins try and take him or Devonta Smith at 6? Like that's another interesting question that we have to ask ourselves. So there are a lot of different landing spots here for Ja'Marr Chase, and it is just a matter of which one does he go to. But regardless, like the talent that we just watched, like it's evident, right? Like you watch Ja'Marr Chase's highlight tape, and it's just like, yeah, like this dude's it, right? So I have no complaints here. The stats back it up. The game by game backs it up as well, and I'm really excited to see where he lands. And in fact, let me actually just pull up a different tab here. And I'm going to try and get this pulled up. NFL Draft Order 2021. Is this... Can I get a full... There we go. All right. So here's what we got, right? So where could he go? Whoops. All right. There we go. So where could Ja'Marr Chase go? And this is actually something that I forgot to do for Kyle Pitts and Najee Harris. So let me kind of rework that just a little bit. I expect Najee Harris, he's not going to go till the back of the first. So I'm looking at 23 to the Jets. I'm looking at 24 to the Steelers. I'm looking at 30 to the Bills. And then in the second round, Najee Harris could possibly go to the Jets at 34, the Falcons at 35, the Dolphins at 36. And that's kind of where I feel like that Najee Harris could go. As far as Kyle Pitts, Pitts is going to go much earlier than that. I personally love him. Trying to figure out where I want Kyle Pitts to go is difficult and interesting. Atlanta's not a bad option, depending on what they view or what they think of Hayden Hurst right now. The Bengals is probably my favorite destination. As much as I just said that I don't want Ja'Marr Chase to go there because of Higgins and Boyd, I do like Pitts there and just surrounding Joe Burrow with as many weapons as possible. And those are probably my 1 and 2. I really like 5 if I had to pinpoint one. I know that there's been a lot of talk of Pitts possibly to the Giants, and to me, that's just not intriguing in the slightest. I don't believe in Daniel Jones. I don't really believe in that team as of right now, and Pitts just feels like that'd be a wasting talent. But as far as Ja'Marr Chase, looking at this right now, number 7 to Detroit makes the most sense. And then, that's the thing. is I don't think the Giants, like, if we're just looking at what these teams are going to do, right? Jacksonville, probably Trevor Lawrence. Like, I just shouldn't even say probably. Trevor Lawrence is going number one. The Jets likely taking Zach Wilson, and then we go with whatever quarterback the 49ers select at number three. The Falcons, we'll see. The Bengals, we'll see, kind of up in the air. The Dolphins, we'll see what they do. They could take him there. The Lions, maybe. But you kind of just go up and down the list. Like the Broncos aren't going to take him. They don't need a wide receiver with Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton coming off of his injury. The Panthers are likely going to take a quarterback. The Cowboys don't need another wide receiver. The Giants just paid a shit ton of money for Kenny Galladay. They don't need another wide receiver, especially with Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton there as well. And like that kind of becomes like if he falls to 12 and the Eagles are there, like that feels like a no-brainer. Like a no-brainer. So the two options that I would love to see Ja'Marr Chase, if I had to mail it in right now, number 7 to Detroit and number 12 to the Eagles. Like that's where I love Chase falling here. So final thoughts on Ja'Marr Chase. Pretty simple. This is the dude that is just athletic wide receiver. Just bam, right here. If I can have like some sort of editor, just put athletic wide receiver right there, I'd love that. I really liked what I saw. Just a guy who's able to make a variety of different kinds of plays on the ball, whether it was a back shoulder, whether it was a quick slant and taking it to the house, right? The variety that you saw in that highlight tape, it really does speak volumes to the type of player that you're going to get with Ja'Marr Chase, and then those numbers back it up. I mean, you're looking at games with 6+ receptions, games with easily over 100 receiving yards, games with over 200 receiving yards, multiple games with 3+ touchdowns. Like this dude just put together one of the best seasons that we've ever seen from college football. And the thing is, yeah, we haven't seen him since 2019. I don't care. This dude's 21. This dude's going to be a stud, and I'm really excited to see where he lands in the NFL draft, and that is going to make one of the differences as to where we project him for fantasy. But just on paper right now, this dude absolutely has the tangibles to be a wide receiver one for fantasy at some point in the future. Likely not going to be it right away, but this dude just has stud written all over him. So that's my breakdown on Ja'Marr Chase, wide receiver out of LSU. Should be an early first-round pick. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button down below. Smash that subscribe button so you never miss a video from me. We got a ton of rookies that we're going to be covering over the course of this month leading up to the NFL draft, and maybe some reactions to the draft afterwards. Follow me on all social media platforms at FFVulture, and check out the website ffvulture.com for some premium fantasy football packages. You're going to love what you find over there. I guarantee it. But that's it. That's all I got. Remember, people come and go, but fantasy championships are forever, and I will see you in the next video.